the oncologist didn't want anything to do with down here. Dr. Espinosa said, I'll talk to your oncologist. And I said that, when she knew I was coming down here. She said, no, you whatever you do with them, and as long as it doesn't counteract or interfere with what I'm doing. So she was open-minded at that point, and that was good. She started the treatment, and already I was feeling better. And when my numbers went down, she never told me, because I hadn't started treatment yet. She never addressed it. She didn't tell me. I saw
oncologist in the States.
Yes.
Oh,
so
wow.
she didn't say anything to me, and I thought that was kind of funny. And then I decided, well,
a little cheeky.
Yeah, I think so. And that was okay. I thought, all right, I respect you because you're doing what you're doing, and let's just let this go. I won't talk about this to her.
Right.
I just figured Bill and I said, don't rock the boat. I'm not going to do that. So, but it made me feel so good. And then also proved to her that I wasn't doing something that was so,
Quackery.
Exactly.
Such snake oil.
Exactly. Yeah. So after that, then the treatment started. But in 1 or 2 weeks, I had lesions on the outside. They were bleeding. It went so fast.
No offense, but you sounded like you were a mess.
It was bad. It was bad. Yeah.
So there you go. A lot of you out there think that it's gotten too far, it's too much, yada yada yada.
It can get really bad.
It can get bad.
It can get
it's
very
amazing
bad.
what you can do to bring the body back.
And I felt like, this is interesting. I kind of sat back and said, well, this is interesting. How bad can I get? Because I know I'm going to get better. So how bad is bad? Not that I did that to myself, but it turned out that I experienced it. Because I always felt that maybe someday this will help other people, So as a result, once she started the treatment, and with 1 or 2 weeks, everything melted. I mean, not the main tumor, but all the outside tumors just died down, and they just went. I woke up one morning and said, where'd it go?
The inflammation was gone.
The tumors on that side, they just disappeared. And she was very surprised that I had such a quick response. So what they
that was with some chemo.
That was the chemo treatment. I was already on the Hoxsey, which I'm very glad that I started that first. Very glad. But I don't recommend that for everyone. I mean, everyone's different. But that was the way it happened to me. So, because I'm kind of looking at this from afar, not just from here. It's just tiny, And so that was really, she was just very surprised. So she said, keep doing what you're doing. And I said, you bet, we're not going to change anything.
Why would I change?
So my numbers dropped all the way down over the course of the summer with the chemo and what I was doing with the Hoxsey. They dropped very low. They got to as low as 70. So within a course of 6 months or maybe a little longer than that. And I just felt great through the summer. It was great. That was last summer. And now I had an episode where my tumor marker went up to 500 in the winter, but I got sick with a cold, mild cold, and I probably wasn't following the diet as closely because it was Christmas time and that sort of thing, and you eat a little more sugary stuff, not a lot, and I figured there was just things just weren't, I was out of whack a little bit. So those numbers creeped up, and then my oncologist she switches treatment. She doesn't double up. She'll switch to a different treatment when things aren't working, which I've heard otherwise, and some oncologists will just put more into you, and she won't do that. And that's one thing she did say, which helped me. She said, I'm not going to hurt you with the chemo. And so I really have a respect for the oncologist now that I didn't before, because I've heard so many stories. I saw how my dad suffered from cancer, bone cancer. It was prostate and it went to the bone. That chemo radiation made him miserable. He died anyway, 9 months. It was so fast, and that's why I was so frightened to go in. But this is, now that because I'm diagnosed at HER2, Herceptin is really the best thing to treat the HER2. So I'm going to be on that for a while, obviously, and I just talked to Dr. Garcia here, and she said, no, it's okay, you've got to be on it because the HER2. So
that's the integrative part about Hoxsey. They're not 100% straight natural, straight tonic, the whole bit. They're integrative, and it's whatever it takes to get rid of the cancer.
Absolutely.
And it's and like with you, it's not going to happen overnight. No. It's going to be a journey. It's a little bit of a journey, and you're going to learn a lot of things. Something that we were talking about yesterday was this war on cancer, and everybody talks about this war on cancer, and it's just this fight, and it's everybody's in the fight and all this stuff. And we had talked about it because I have this feeling that I haven't been through cancer, but I just have this feeling it's really not a fight. It's it's a journey back to health, and the more that you get aggressive about it and say it's a fight, I'm still in the fight, it just causes more angst to me. And I was talking to you about that, and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, and I thought about it later, and I said, it almost implies that there's a loser in the battle, and there, you don't want any feeling of this is going to be a battle that you may not win. So it's not I don't like to think of it as, I never thought of it as a battle.
Right.
I thought of it as, my body needs to be in the right environment to heal. It's a healing process. So I think of it more of getting your body back on track so it can do what it's supposed to do in the first place, and actually take care of the bad things that are going on. And so it's more of a healing process, not a fight. It's just the healing.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how to say that yet.
Yeah.
It's a journey back to health. You're not fighting against cancer.
No.
You're working towards health, because that's just a negative. It's just a negative view to say that you have a war going on in your body. It's really, you're just trying to get back to health.
And it has become my teacher, because it's there, and it's like, okay, now God gave us a brain. What tools can we use to do that? And one of the biggest things is the diet, and they're all saying that now. Diet. Well, at least the alternative doctors and stuff, and I think some other doctors too. But what you put in your mouth. So it's like, I want to put what is going to help me in my mouth, and you think of it that way. You don't think of it as a deprivation.
Sure, it's either whatever you put in your mouth is basically, the food is either it's a burden, or it's an asset.
That's right.
It's one or the other.
That's right.
It's a burden or an asset, and if you're putting things in there that are burden, then your body has to do something with it, and it's taking more time away from what it's supposed to be doing and fixing it. So.
And I'm being patient. My husband says, well, it took you this long to get here, so it's going to take this long to get you back on track. And I'm like, that's good. I've learned to be patient.
And that's what I really wanted you to recognize with Tina, is that she has a lot of patience. And I know you hear of these really huge success stories that people have, gone cancer-free in 8 months and all that stuff.
Ignore that.
But no doubt that it happens sometimes.
Does happen.
But for the most part, just think of it as if you do decide to come to Hoxsey, it's a 5-year program at the minimum. Yeah. And it's going to change your life, and you're going to get healthier. And
absolutely. You learn a
so
lot.
Here's someone who's gone from ICU. Basically telling the family to come in and say goodbye, right? Yeah. And here she is now. You look great.
Thank you.
Look great.
I feel great.
And
I feel better than ever.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful week here.
Awesome.
And you meet so many people from all over the world. And it was like somebody from Fiji was here. Like, oh, good, I met someone from Fiji. And then
I want to go to Fiji.
and it's wonderful to see a lot of people from all over the world come here. And then we're all in the same boat. It's like, wow, we're all one in this, and so there is this connection, immediate connection. Once they find out, it's usually the question is when you talk to people, well, how long is this your first time? Well, they say, it's my 4th time, or this is especially with the ones that are their first time, then you want to reassure them that they've done the right thing, because there's still a little, not sure.
First time,
so,
it's a big step to get here, there's no doubt about it. I came from just San Diego across the border, and it wasn't.
And these people are
coming from. I was a little skeptical. I came to help someone out, and then I got here, and it changes. But I can't imagine making that leap from Greece or South Africa or Australia, New Zealand.
And they're doing 10 to 15-hour flights here, and it's like, wow,
But do you feel like it's the right thing to do?
Oh, I said, absolutely, I do, and I tell them that it's worth the trip. Believe me, especially it's the first time. Believe me, you did. And I talked to a woman in Malta. Her daughter was
Nadia.
Yes. And it was so sweet to talk to her daughter, who's here to help her mother. So it's nice that...
That was Nadia. Hi, Nadia, because I know you're going to watch this. And hello to your mother.
So she Skyped her, and I got to talk to her and reassure her that her daughter's doing the best thing for her. I said, you're so blessed to have a daughter to come and help you. That's wonderful to do that. It is. It truly is. So,
Well, I really appreciate it. I've been excited to do this interview for 3 days, and I finally tracked her down. So, no, it was just, we were busy and things.
It was busy, yeah.
But I really do appreciate it, and for all of you out there looking around, here's your testimonial of somebody who was actually in ICU, was in a really bad state,
terrible state,
and she's been able to bring the body back, and it's just it's basically advice and listening her own and Tina's own research along with Bill, and their research and getting the tools that they need in order to get the body healthy, and it's absolutely possible. So it's so hard. I just actually had somebody who who gave up and she's gone into hospice, and
Oh,
and I want so bad to be able to just go to that hospice and say, you don't have to quit yet.
No,
And
don't throw in the towel.
don't throw in
Never
the towel.
throw in
I
the towel.
mean, you just I've
Just
met
keep
too many people that have been too far gone that have come back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't throw in the towel.
Never.
Do your research. If you do come here, you can get some more information from me at benitawellnessinfo@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Hoxsey Biomedical Center Tijuana. And you can also come to my Facebook site, which is Benita Wellness on Facebook. And you can get some information there, and you can contact us there through there as well. And you can also just call the clinic, contact the clinic at hoxseybiomedical.com, and you can find them there. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Thank you
So
so
nice
much.
to meet you.
Yeah, I
God
can't
bless
wait
you.
to see you.
Yes.
Yeah, God bless you. Thank you.
Excellent.
Bye bye. Cheers.
Yeah.